Snippet time, cross the USA. Snippet time, cross the USA. Hey gang, Bad Player 03, Realthus Killdog here with my first Bad Players WoW vlog snippet I have done in a couple of weeks. Sorry I haven't done these for a while, but I have been enjoying the new patch and also learning to do a little bit of live streaming of classic video games on my Twitch TV channel, also under, surprise, surprise, Bad Player 03, capital B, capital P. So anyways, I'm back. I'm back with another snippet today. My decision to do a snippet today is just basically a new debate kind of that's popping up in the rating community that I wanted to touch on. So first off, as you may or may not know, I'm the one who's advocate for my Bad Players WoW or Bad Players Lore raid model that I developed. I still think it is the best way to revitalize raiding in WoW, and that the problem with it currently is that the gap between the LFR and regular 10-man is just too big of a gap for the LFR players, which are really, your introductory low-level raiders. Too big of a gap for them to manipulate, or to navigate, I should say. So I propose taking the 10-man, lowering it down in skill level a little bit to make it a little closer to the LFR level, and then basically shifting the gap between 10-man regular and 10-man heroic, because these players are a little better and are able to bridge that gap a little better, using their skill and resourcefulness. Also, of course, they have the option of using 25-man regular as a stepping stone to get to 10-man heroic if that's their choice, or maybe move on to 25-man heroic if they find 25-man works for them better. And this will also help, in my opinion, revitalize the 25-man regular level, in terms of like pug groups and stuff that we used to see back in Wrath of the Lich King all the time, when players could run 10-man and 25-man in the same week. Now with the Bad Players lore model, of course they can. However, only the regular 10-man level is exempt from the lockout of the 25-man regular, whereas 10-man heroics cannot run 25-man regular. So the heroic raiders can only run one or the other. The regular raiders can run both, and 25-man heroic raiders are just given the option to run 10-man regular, just so they have some beer league clan that they can do in their spare time when they're not doing 25-man raiding. Anyways, without rehashing any more of my Bad Players lore raid model, now the interesting idea is, I can use this, I guess, to illustrate, is rather than that, leaving the 10-man regular where it is now and putting in a 15-man beer league content in that gap to bridge that gap between the LFR and 10-man regular. Now, I was never an advocate of this at all until this point, because really it seems like 15-man in that it really doesn't have a lot of place in WoW right now, because it's not 25, it's not 10. It really doesn't go anywhere having a 15-man level. However, in thinking about it now, if Blizzard, like for some reason they don't believe the Bad Players lore model is the best way to revive raiding, and their goal is actually to make 2015-man raiding slowly become an idea they want players to consider going forward, to maybe eventually become the only size of raid, that's the way to start. Make that 15-man content unthreatening and just introduce it to let players try it out, enjoy it on a very casual level, and decide if it's for them, and who knows, maybe it'll catch on. So really, that's a good use of that beer league need, perhaps, would be to have a 15-man rather than a 10-man beer league level. You need a few more players to do it, but once again, it's for the casual content. And also very friendly to design too, because really, you wouldn't need to make the skill level that much less than 10-man regular. You'd simply just have to allow more than 10 players, up to a maximum of 15, to complete it. And really those extra, few players would basically make the content that would normally be a little more challenging a lot easier. And basically with a full team of 15, the content would be, well, basically only 66% as hard, perhaps, as it would have been, with a 10-man group. So really, there's your skill level drop right there. And of course, I'd have to drop lower level loot than 10-man regular, because it is designed to be more casual beer league content. And as with my 10-man regular beer league idea, it would have to have a separate lockout from any other lockout so that everybody can run it, because if you're going to put this new style of raiding out there, this new level, you got to make sure nobody is forced to choose between that and something else. So a totally independent lockout from everything else would allow people to use that as their fun extra beer league content for a little bit of gearing up, an alternative to the LFR, which I really think is needed for the higher level. Something to say, you know what, if I don't want to do LFR, I don't have to. I've got another skill level that's a little bit more challenging I can enjoy, maybe with some friends, rather than having to do random pugs with boringly easy content. And so I mean that 15-man level could definitely meet that need, and in doing so, Blizzard could slowly be weaning us or bringing us up towards the idea of what if all raiding eventually was 15-man raids. And so if that is truly Blizzard's goal, and they decide that the bad players lower raid model is not the best solution, that would probably be the best way to do it, because it would be unthreatening and just a great way to wean players into what a 15-man raid structure might look like. And so yeah, that, in absence of my model, which I'm still a big advocate for, I think that actually would be a pretty intriguing idea that just might work and right now is the time to do it, because we know we have to bridge that gap between, well, I shouldn't say we know, because Laura would probably shoot me for that one and say, you never say, everybody knows that, so we won't use that, but it's becoming a very fairly common notion that gap between LFR and 10-man regular is just too big of a gap right now, and that's something either has to be shrunk, the gap, or something has to fill that gap. And so that need might actually be just the perfect way Blizzard could introduce the idea of 15-man regular, or sorry, 15-man raid size. And so yeah, no, if that's a goal of Blizzard's and that's a solution I could probably live with and stand behind, in lieu, like, whenever you come up with an idea, there should always perhaps be if this idea doesn't work, here's a second idea. And that would probably be my second favorite idea to the bad players lore raid model, is the 15-man beer league level, fitting in the gap. Like I said, it would be an extra skill level, but then they have, so adding one more level. However, it's unique and it has a purpose. Besides serving the beer league content, it also would help show players what 15-man raiding might be like for perhaps a future idea. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to wrap it up with that, but I do think that's an intriguing alternative to my bad players lore raid model. If I had to pick a second alternative, is to make a 15-level beer league content that fills that gap instead. Let me know what you think. I know there's a lot of talk about the idea of 15-man raiding, and there's certainly talk about filling that gap. Well, how about using the two together as an idea to basically bring them together to be one really good idea to help improve rating. So anyways, I'm going to wrap it up. Once again, I'm Realtus Killdog, Bad Player 03, and this has been another Bad Players WoW vlog snippet. You can always follow me on Twitter, because I really love Twitter, at Bad Player 03, capital B, capital P. Under Daniel Gagne is the account. I also have all these videos up on my YouTube channel, also under Bad Player 03. And finally, you can email me at badplayer03@gmail.com. Always like to get feedback from the community as to what you think of my vlogs, my ideas, what your ideas are, and how so I can use them and kind of incorporate them into my thinking as well. And once again, I just love talking about WoW and love presenting these videos to you guys. So let me know what you think, what I can do to improve. So anyways, I'm going to call it a night now. This has been another Bad Players WoW vlog snippet, and I will talk to you later.